Hello, everyone. This is Liam. It is January 26th at 8 p.m. and I'm making of this video. And right now, I want to talk about volcanology. And because it is one of my interests, hobbies, mind you, I'm not a real geologist or a volcanologist. This is just some person's opinion or their interest, expressing it and dialoguing it. So today I want to be talking about volcanoes that are actively erupting in the United States. There are currently two of them. The one that I want to focus on is called the Great Sitkin Volcano and the Alaskan island chain. This volcano is formed due to the subduction of the Pacific Ocean plate that is subducting underneath the Northern American plate. Here's a proper good example for it. It is when you have the oceanic crust sliding underneath the continental crust, the oceanic crust being the Pacific plate, and the continental crust being Northern American plate. It is both moving sideways, but the oceanic crust has more force that where it goes subducts underneath the continental crust with the friction and the mantle. From within the mantle and the density forms magma. It is a common misconception to believe that the mantle and the core is liquid. It's all magma, but that is actually not true. It is just really dense material, and when the oceanic crust slides underneath the continental crust, it forms friction, and with that friction develops heat, and with that heat, that makes magma. And that magma has gases that are from the rocks itself. With the magma and gases, it slides. It goes upwards because gases are lighter than the rock itself, and it will eventually form a magma chamber and then making volcanoes. In this case, we have what we would call a stratovolcano. This stratovolcano is, if I were to get a measurement from the widest side right here to here, it is around 8 kilometers, 9 kilometers, or if you wanted 8 kilometers or 9 kilometers wide. And from that side right here, and I don't know why I did that, but okay. And we have around 11 kilometers other from the other. Well, wait a minute. Excuse me. I think I messed up a tiny bit. Never mind. Length. No, I want to get rid of that. So it is 8 kilometers wide from the longest length. And it is 5 kilometers. No, wait. Oh, around 5, 6 kilometers from north to south. And if I were to go into more of a dimensional shape, we can find out what really made this volcano and we'll look into the history of it. In the history of this volcano, we could see, if I can, we see that it has more of a flat top. Well, there's two reasons. First of all, this volcano was formed underneath a glacier, making this into a breccia. Initially, a breccia. A breccia is when a volcano forms underneath ice, and ice eventually melts, and it creates a flat top. This initially was basaltic. Basaltic lava being like, for example, lava like from Hawaii or Iceland. But as time went on, the glacier melted, and the lava became more silica, had more silica in there, and it became more of an andesite kind of magma underneath the magma chamber. which forms due to the fact when magma stays under the surface long enough, it creates more crystals within the heat of the magma chamber. Within that, that would form more explosive activity. And as you could probably tell from this image right here, if you could follow my cursor from here around all the way around, is what we would call a caldera. Either this caldera was formed from an explosive event that really blew up the tip of the volcano, or it was a caldera collapse from within the volcano's chamber or dike. Well, not really a dike, but magma tube that goes from underneath the surface. Or it was, I preferably believe it is from an explosive activity. And we have over here, what we would currently have right now is also a lava dome. From the lava dome is consisting of really basaltic andesite or andesite. In rare cases, you could possibly see trachyte lavas. And so, so essentially, what I would say, the events, and eventually after, wait a minute, give me a moment. After the lava dome is grown, now I have some following, what is currently, I have some following predictions, and I'm going to tell you what is currently happening right now. As the volcano is erupting at this moment, it is just mainly effusive at the moment. If I have, yeah, it's effusive similar to this. It's forming lava domes. There are, I probably have a better photo. That's a photo of, from, I believe, the latest activity. Yeah, the lava, the eruption is it's forming a lava dome. And it's been continuing on ever since. And it's been more of effusive, that means it's not as explosive. Effusive right there. It's still, the volcanic alerts is on an orange. It is still, it's the 4th level scale, which means, I mean, it is erupting, but it has minor activity, but not really any activity that would be considered a threat to give me a moment while that loads. But when, when what would possibly happen is, now two things. Actually, I have 3 occasional predictions. The eruption just stops immediately. That would be, well, good. I mean, it would be good. But there is real no hazards to it anyways. So, I mean, it would keep continuing erupting. Or it would continue to stay effusive, developing this greater lava dome. Lava flows, lava dome, same thing. It will eventually collapse downwards and making more lava flows that's going down slope from the volcano itself. Or it could, collapse and make more of a pyroclastic flow, which is slightly faster than a lava flow. It's when gases emerge with the rocks itself and heads down slope. You probably have seen many of those from Mount St. Helens, for example. Or we could, or this is probably the worst case scenario, and this is when maybe some of the hazards can actually take place and have effect on us. Is it may seem that the eruption may stop, but there could be a clogging of in the magma tube, the lava tube that is from underneath, the summit. Which means is the lava has cooled down and there is no real way for the gases to escape from within the volcano, and it could cause just build up until a certain pressure reaches, and it could lead to a Plinian eruption, and that whole lava dome will erupt, exploding it, throwing fragments of the lava dome everywhere. As here's a good example from an eruption a while ago, I believe in the 1990s, and the 1990s. So, and here are the possible some of the hazards that we could really have taken place, since due to the fact that it's really in the middle of nowhere. middle of nowhere, so it really there won't be any real hazards for human interaction with it. The only real hazard that could possibly occur is when if the volcano were to erupt, air traffic could be delayed or stopped in itself when there's enough ash in the atmosphere, and that could damage airplanes or any other air mobile devices like drones or anything in particular. And there's not really any human civilization from 100 kilometers separate from the volcano itself, so there is real no human casualties possible or any human consequences that could lead to damages. The only real hazard is air traffic may be disrupted, or there could. I mean, it is very unlikely, I would say. I mean, there could be a collapse of the volcano itself, and it could cause a great tsunami that would head northwards and pretty much reach reach Alaska from here or Russia, making a tsunami. It would collapse downward, making a landslide, collapsing into the and forming a tsunami that would hit the coast of Russia and Alaska. But really, there is not much else hazards to it. Here's some other photos, a bit more description. I'll send links of the information of my sources where I got it from. Here's another great photo of the lava dome, and pretty much this has been this Sitkin volcano activity has been minor, just more lava domes. The lava dome is continuing growing, some more effusive activity. Here's a good example of it. Not all effusive activity has to be particularly a lava dome, but it could be as simple as, a lava flow. Not necessarily could be dangerous. It's really minor. There's not much of a threat to this volcano at the moment. If there is any possible future concerns, I will let you know. And you take care, everyone. And I hope you have a great night. It's been a pleasure, and honestly, I enjoy making these videos because although it is difficult to organize and plan, but I hope this was a lot better than the previous one. So thank you so much for your patience, and as in time, it will get better as I get used to making this into more of a hobby. So thank you all. I love you all. You have a good night. You take care.